was going okay at first. It was a little bit awkward, but it was fine. Pretty soon into the date, he asked me what my type was. And I said, well, I don't really have a type. Like, you know, all my exes are pretty different, which is true. And then I asked him what his type was. He looked me straight in the eyes and said to me, well, normally I go for really strong, motivated, and independent women, but they're all pretty heartless. So I'm trying something different. Excuse me, bitch?
Yeah, that's not something that we say, boys.
Wrong for so many reasons.
We don't say that on first dates. You know, like maybe, actually, you know what, don't even be thinking that. Like, why are you thinking that? I was like, oh, you could think that and like just don't say it. But if you're thinking that, like, obviously this is not gonna work out because like you just don't have any respect for this person. Like, what are you doing? And that's just a horrible opinion to begin with. Normally they're just heartless, like these motivated people. Nah, dude, they just have like other things to worry about other than you, man.
Okay, so I'm on a date with this guy and the check comes. So I go to pull my card out of my bag to be like, oh, like let's split it or whatever. No, this man says to me, we have to get this itemized because you drank more than me.
Huh.
I drank one more beer than he did, but yeah, sure, okay, great, sounds good. So the waitress comes and he asks for like another copy of the check or whatever. He calculates how much he owes, how much I owe, the tax, whatever. Then he says, oh, the nachos were $15. Can you give me $5 for the 4 tortilla chips you ate? He counted how many tortilla chips I had.
Huh.
So then I was like, yeah, okay. So I gave him my card and I get up to go to the bathroom. Well, I actually left and I actually gave him an expired Visa gift card.
Okay, well, you know what? Here's the thing. I was with her right up until the end when she dipped. Like, yeah, my dude is being like absolutely extra and there will not be a date number 2. But like to dip like that, that's not super cool either. You know, you just leave the guy. Like, I understand, but I'm not one for walking out. You know, it's like, I will tell you straight to your face. I'll be like, this is ridiculous. I'm gonna pay for my half and then we're not gonna see each other again. And then I'll dip.
And so we're chatting and he's just insulting me the whole time. He goes, wow, you didn't even get your nails done for me? And I was like, huh? Then he decides to tell me, hey, just so you know, the bottom half of your outfit is awesome and the top half really sucks.
Huh. You know, like, why do you go on a date if you're just gonna hate on the person that you're on a date with?
That's counterintuitive, but that just might work.
And so I'm like, okay, I just got this drink. Let's try to power through. And so I'm like, hey, so like, what's your passion in life? Like, what do you live for? LOL, like not a normal date question. But I was just like throwing caution to the wind. And he goes, skateboarding. And so I burst out laughing, thinking it's a joke, and it was not a joke. And so he gets offended and he doubles down on the insults, calling me ugly, talking about all the much hotter girls he's been out with. And he was like, I'm about to go out with Billy Joel's daughter. And I was like, okay. He's like, so who do you think you are? And I was like, you know you're tiny, right?
It's like he read up online. He's just like, all right, like, how do you make a girl like you? Give them like backhanded compliments. And he's just like, this is the way. And we're just going after it right now. I don't understand. Do you really think that you're all that? Like, do you really think that you're all that? Or is this like just some sick strategy to like try to get them to like you? Like, I don't understand, man. Stupidness. Stupidness.
Inconceivable!
So I was on this first date this one time and the guy sits down and he rolls up his sleeves and he has a dinosaur tattoo on his forearm. And I was like, hey, what's the story behind this? And he goes, do you not know who that is? And I was like, no, who is that? And he goes, that's the T-Rex from Jurassic Park. And I was like, oh, why do you have the T-Rex from the Jurassic Park tattooed on your arm? And he says that when he was little, his parents were always really busy, so movies basically raised him, and the T-Rex from Jurassic Park is like a father to him.
Okay, no, that's cool. That's vulnerable, that's cool, it's truthful. There should be a date number 2. If somebody actually said that to me, like, I get it, it's kind of weird, but at the same point, like, you just opened up, you know, like, I feel like you just like opened up a piece of your soul and you're like, you know what, that T-Rex like really raised me and I have a connection to that. And I don't think there's anything weird with that.
Okay, first of all, he worked out in front of me.
Wait, whoa! Okay, first thing, you went to his house and you had to wait outside of his house for 15 minutes!
Okay, and then he came down in sweatpants. Then he did a circuit in front of me.
He worked out.
Then we went on a walk, and when his dog pooped and he didn't have a bag, he went dumpster diving?
I mean...
to pick up the poop!
Yeah, this is all bad. That's a solid like 0 out of 10 on the date. There will be no date number 2. Man, wow.
When we got back to his apartment, he was out of lime for a drink he wanted to make me, so he told me we had to go to Whole Foods.
He literally wanted her to go grocery shopping.
And then when I said no, he said, "The lady doth protest."
Ew. And then for dinner, didn't he like heat you up his leftovers?
It was a salmon patty and a biscuit from his takeout.
Like, this just makes me think, and you know what, I'm a boost myself up a little bit. I'm like, I must be a damn good first date because I do way more than that, man. We are not having leftover salmon patties. We're gonna be making some nice pasta. We're gonna be having some wine, maybe some cheese. I don't know, but like, wow.
He messages me saying he has car troubles, and he asks if I would mind giving him a ride. When I pick him up, he brings a backpack. We get to dinner, he just places the backpack on the seat beside him. Approximately 2 minutes after we got our food, the manager walks up to our table. I thought this was just a standard, like, how's your meal, how's your time, yada yada yada. No, of course not. He looks directly at my date and says, "Hey, do you mind starting your shift half an hour early?" He says yes, grabs the backpack, and gets up from the table. I had to work that night. He left me to eat the dinner by myself while he started his shift early. Bro didn't want a date. He wanted a ride to work. Did I have to pay for my own dinner? Yes.
Wow. Yeah, that's rough too. That is really rough, man. I like you couldn't just take the bus or like something else. I would never do that. I just like never have the thought in my brain. That seems like so much extra effort.
Something a crazy person would do.
To like straight up like message somebody for like, I'm assuming time, organize this date, have it right when I'm working, and then get them to drive me. Like, and also like super rude too.
So I hop in his car, we go on the highway, we end up going really far. I ask him where we're going. He tells me it's a surprise. We pull off the highway, we pull into this really abandoned, dark alleyway behind this like large industrial building. I look behind me and there's this massive glowing sign that says Fabutan. He turns off the engine, turns to me and he says, "Sorry babe, I'm so sorry. I forgot I had a tanning appointment. Do you mind if I just hop in here real quick?"
Yeah, that's insanity. I would just never. It's like you forgot your tanning appointment. You ain't going, bro. Like, that's just not happening right now. You have someone with them.
This was the days before cell phones. He takes the keys out of the car, leaves me for over an hour inside the car. After he finishes tanning, he gets back inside the car. He says, "So sorry, he was catching up with an old friend inside."
Or if you're doing it, then you're turning it into a thing and you're like, "Hey, so I had this tanning appointment. You know what I thought would be like a sick first date is if we do it together." I don't know, definitely weird, but like at least better than leaving her in the car. Wow.
I took her to this Chinese restaurant that had a sushi bar, and when I ordered sushi, this girl goes, she like fake gagged in front of the server, and I'm like, "What, you don't like sushi?" And she goes, "No, I hate sushi." I was like, okay, so I took off the sushi and I ordered this lo mein dish. 3 separate times throughout the meal, this girl keeps bringing up the sushi. She's like, "Oh, I just really don't like it, like it's fish, that's really gross." Like, you're not gonna believe this next part. So we finish our meal, and as we're about to leave, she's like, "Oh, it's raining, I have to wait." And I was like, "No, I have an umbrella." And she's like, "No, I just really rather wait." So we wait 20 minutes, and finally I'm like, "Yo, I'll drive the car to the curb and pick you up." And she said, "No, I really can't get wet." And I go, "Why can't you get wet?" This girl goes, "If I get wet, my mermaid tail will come out." So the reason she didn't like sushi is because she's half fish. She's a mermaid.
What? Okay, well, this is, okay, first off, this has to be made up. And second of all, if it's not, then I wouldn't even know what to say about that. Like,
What white nonsense is this?
like, how are you breathing right now, lady? Like, that would blow my mind. There is no date number 2. There is no date number 2. Sorry.
So I happened to meet a doctor. So I'm thinking smart, successful, great. Wrong. So we went up downtown. You know, just something dinner, drinks, like to get to know each other was a first date. He starts by opening up that he lied to me about his age. He was in his 40s. So we were off to a great start. So we sat down, started eating. While he's eating though, food starts falling out of his mouth and he proceeds to ask me if I got turned on by that. No. He proceeds to tell me he's never loved anyone besides his dog. Keeps having a reoccurring dream about his dog being reincarnated as a human. Tall, dark, curly brown hair. I might be his dog. And then tells me about his gyno rotation. I ran, and then he sent me a picture of him in a catsuit.
Oh, that's just, where do you find these people?
Internet?
Even if he is a doctor, like, if that guy is performing like surgery on me, then there is a serious problem. We cannot have this dude like in a position of power operating on my body because no. He is just insane, and I don't want it.
I met this retired NFL player on a yacht and he asked me out on a date. He was super cute and great and I was so excited for our date until the day of when he texted me and asked if I could pick him up and pick up lunch on the way. After an hour of watching him eat his onion-filled sandwich and listening to him grovel about his ex-girlfriend, he finally asked if we could go to the next place to eat. 2 bowls of pho, 3 teriyaki chickens later, 1 bowl of rice, and an iced tea later, he wanted to go to In-N-Out. I forgot to mention that this man had the audacity to wear white denim to our first date. After driving him to 3 restaurants, I finally pull up to In-N-Out where he orders a 4x4 animal-style fries and 2 sodas. I get nothing. He told me his stomach hurt, shocker, and excused himself to go to the bathroom. After 20 minutes in the bathroom, he came out and I noticed a stain on his pants. He had his pants and didn't clean it up. I gave him a towel to sit on and drove him home.
Wow, okay, that is really bad. But that is also an NFL player for you. Like, them boys, they gotta eat. You know, that sounds like a big boy up front or something. Like, big offensive lineman. Like, he's gotta get that food in him. He should be watching about the, you know, the shit. Like, if you're going to do that, then you probably use the bathroom, bro. And that's gotta be embarrassing. But, I mean, they eat, man. They, you know, like, what can I tell you? Anyways, guys, that was TikTok story time. A lot of dates there that went wrong. I'm feeling a lot better about my dating history now. You know, this has made me feel good. But comment down below what you guys thought about it. Hit the like, smash the subscribe. I've been your host, Nicholas Playlog, and I'll catch you next time. Alright, TikTok, let's get some stories. Like, okay, if you're worshipping the T-Rex and like inviting the T-Rex over for Christmas and stuff, yeah, like we're getting a little extra, but I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool. Comment down below what you guys thought.